Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the roster in Undisputed. The good, the bad, and the missing 130 fighters. Wait until you see this list. Let's go. All right, now as we take a look at the roster, as you can see here, this is the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division isn't too bad for their first offering, for their first game. You have some good guys in here. Ali and Frazier, of course, that's almost a state. You have to have that. Then you have Tyson Fury, and you have Deontay Wilder, which is those two fighters are great to have in the game, and players are going to have a lot of fun going back and forth with these two guys. You also have Larry Holmes in here, which is really, and Riddick Bowe, which Riddick Bowe was a surprise to me, but a nice addition, obviously great. Then you have Cruiserweight here. Cruiserweight, you have Rocky Marciano in the Cruiserweight division. And this is where and we also have Roy Jones in there. We have Roy Jones in the light heavyweight division. So there's a lot of duplication going on in the game. Roy Jones is spread across quite a few weight divisions, and rightfully so. He fought in those, so why not, right? The nice thing I liked about the game is that they actually put Sugar Ray Robinson in the lightweight division, and that is where he started his career, not the welterweight. So there's a lot of good stuff, but the thing is, I think that the game is missing is like right here in the middleweight division, you have Roy Jones, you have Canelo, you have Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, and pretty much that's it. And I hate to say that's it, but I mean, yes, you have other guys in here. Nigel Benn, of course, is an excellent fighter, a good addition to this game. But we really need some more something else. Like if you look back at the older boxing games, they were stacked with their rosters. Okay, so the middleweight division would look something like Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, all these guys, right? Here we have Leonard, but we don't have anybody that Leonard ever fought. Hopefully, down the road with with fighter packs or whatever they're planning on doing with this game, they can maybe introduce a Tommy Hearns. He needs to be in this game. I mean, he has not been in any, well, he's been in a couple of the Fight Night games, but he was never in a Knockout Kings game, and he is definitely somebody that would be a great addition to this game. Marvin Hagler, of course, Roberto Duran, even Wilfred Benitez. I mean, they called it the Fab Four. I call it the Fab Five. Wilfred Benitez was an excellent fighter. And really, in that era of fighters back in the 80s, you couldn't go through that era undefeated. Every one of those guys had a loss because they were just so good. The competition was stacked so good. Getting back to this, I mean, the roster is good. I mean, the thing is I love is the details. Some of the details is fantastic. I mean, I'm looking at it going, is this live or is this Memorex? I mean, look at Lomachenko. He looks fantastic. And, when this game was first announced, it was under a different name at the time, a different title, the ESBC, and they were touting 200-plus fighters that they had signed and they had planned for this game. So let's take a look at this list. I do have the list of fighters that were on their original list, and they said that they would be coming in due time. And I think a lot of that has to do with how well this game is going to be selling. But I think they did sign all these guys on this list. It's just a matter of, do we move forward with it? Do we pay them? Do we, get it going? And let's take a look at this list. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal, some of the names that are on here. And what you may want to do is pause it so that you can actually go ahead and look through all these names. A lot of this stuff is fluff, I'll be honest with you. Some of these guys I've never even heard of. I think they were just prospects. And you have to keep in mind that this list was 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm sure a lot of things have changed since then. But I do think that Some of the names that obviously from more of my generation or the generation after, like in the 90s, 2000s, that are on here are probably still intact. And look, we got Tim Bradley, the Desert Storm. Okay, he's on the list here. Ray Boom Boom Mancini, Vinny Pazienza, Mark Antonio Barrera, and Eric Morales right there. I mean, come on, that's just an incredible. They had just a wonderful series, those two guys. I mean, keep going here. I mean, we have Juan Manuel Marquez. And one of my personal favorites here that's on this list, I was really shocked to see the name, is Mark Johnson. They called him Too Sharp. And he was a heck of a fighter. I hope that they do bring him into this. That would be fantastic, especially for the real hardcore boxing fans. They're going to love him. That's going to be a big treat. Okay, moving on to the next page. I mean, look at the top name right here. Kelly the Ghost Pavlik. I mean, that would be an awesome addition to this game. You have Diego Corrales, Chico, one of my favorite fighters, and really, they should have Castillo in this game as well. I mean, go after that guy because they had one of the greatest fights in boxing history. I actually think it's probably the best fight I've ever watched in over 35, 40 years of watching the sport. I mean, that fight was just phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, look it up. Just type in Corrales versus Castillo. Their first fight, watch it. You're going to love it. It's an unbelievable barn burner with a great climax. Look at all these guys' names. I mean, these are some great fighters. Hopefully they get these guys and bring them into the game. I mean, we got some great names on this list. Mike McCallum, the Body Snatcher. He is one of my all-time favorite fighters. He was just incredible, and he really didn't get the credit that he deserved, and he never got the big opportunities until they were way too late. The guys, Leonard, Duran, Hagler, Hearns, all those guys stayed away from McCallum because he was just too dangerous at that time. Those guys were fading out. They were transitioning out of their careers, and Mike McCallum was just, he was on the scene, but he was really starting to pick up momentum when he knocked out Donald Curry, and people just didn't want any part of Mike McCallum. So Mike McCallum kind of paved his own way, went his own path, and the rest was history. He is a Hall of Famer, all-time great. He learned his craft, and he was an incredible fighter. So I'm so glad they got him in the game. And then Michael second to none.
And down goes Sumbu Kalambe after a major league left inside by none.
Probably the best middleweight I ever seen, and I've seen a lot of them. That just includes everybody that I've seen. He moved like Muhammad Ali. You got to watch his fight with Kalambe, even though it didn't even go around. Look at his movement. Look at how Michael Nunn everything was just effortless. He was so fast, accurate, and he dodged all the punches with just his head only. He didn't use a guard really. He didn't fight out of a Philly shell. He didn't put his hands up. He would just dodge him, and he had these radar-like senses to just, dodge these punches. He was a fantastic fighter, multi-champion, and it was really sad what happened to Michael Nunn. But anyway, he is going to be in this game. I can't wait. Hopefully they really put the time and effort into him and the detail. And the trunks are a big pet peeve of mine. I hope these guys are really going back and really looking at the fighters, their fights that they had, because they got two pair of shorts for Sugar Ray Leonard in this game. One of them is wrong. Okay, so how do you get that wrong? I have no idea. I mean, Leonard, 5-time champion in 5 different weight divisions. How do you mess him up? Come on, guys, let's get this right. Anyway, what do you guys think about this list? I'm really excited about it. Hopefully, they can bring a lot of these guys into the game. I do think a lot of these guys they don't need. That's just my opinion, but let me know what you think. And how are you enjoying the game so far? Thank you so much for checking out this video. And until the next one, peace out.